Hi, I'm Julia, and I have some almost exciting news. That made me laugh. Anyways, I am gonna graduate really soon, and then I'll be able to take new patients on in October. So I'm really excited. It's been a long time coming, and it's weird to look back because I had OCD for so many years, and then it got so much better, and then I went to school so I could help other people get so much better, and it's finally getting there. So, what I want to do is put it out there that if anybody wants to be informed about my schedule, like when I'm taking new people, just let me know. Like, email me your contact info, and I'm happy to let you know when it gets closer to that time, like about my schedule and when I can see people. And October is a long time to wait. I'm feeling really impatient. I want to do like right now. And it's something I've always struggled with, was being patient, which I don't think is uncommon. But if you are either waiting for October or to find somebody else or whatever it is you're waiting for, I think it's a very common thing with this to find like what the next step is. So I have a few things I want to share that can hopefully help a little bit with whatever it is that you're waiting for right now with your OCD situation. So the first thing I would say is for parents who have kids with OCD, just know and acknowledge that your support means more than you can possibly understand. I know it can't be easy to be a parent with a child who has OCD, because, I mean, it's hard to see someone struggle, especially if you feel powerless. So just know that even if it feels like you're not doing a lot, you are. And one book I really liked, that I read a long time ago, was called Tormenting Thoughts and Secret Rituals by Ian Osborne. And he's an MD, so he has kind of that dual perspective as well of like patient and doctor. But he's got a good section in there on, for families, and I think it can be very helpful. So, and for those of you who are newly diagnosed, you got a lot to do too. It took me a while to kind of accept the diagnosis and say like, oh, I have OCD. That was tough. It took longer than I would have thought. But then also figuring out what the next step was and what I wanted to do was really challenging. So I did my research. I got online. I looked up what caused OCD and kind of like the latest things that were happening in treatment, and got on forums. And this was all really essential for me because it did two things. Like I kind of coped with things through research, but also I felt less alone. And that's why I started my blog. I wanted to have a resource for myself and for others. So please utilize that. I've got lots of videos on there with everything from how to find a good therapist to dealing with other eating disorder stuff or anxiety things. And, I try to do the full spectrum. And I would also say that I want to reiterate, it's so important to know that you're not alone, even though it can feel like a very, very lonely disorder. And the next thing I would suggest is try to work on your sleep and eating. And I know that's really hard because all these things go in together. Like, I had terrible sleep and terrible eating habits, and I coped with, eating a lot of bad foods and drinking a lot of alcohol, and just everything was kind of, But I would say that it's not uncommon to have sleep and eating problems, when there's an anxiety picture like OCD. So it's important to recognize those small victories, like when you have a day where something goes kind of well, or like you were able to eat something you were trying to eat, or not, or sleeping was a little bit easier, you could kind of breathe through it, or whatever it was. Even if it seems like not a big deal, just remember to build yourself up and not beat yourself up. It's really, really hard, but celebrate those little victories because it will help. It really, in my opinion, it just helps to encourage things to go in the direction you want them to go. I know it's easy to feel down, but we're all trying. And that's the best we can do. And the other thing that really helped me was to consider therapy. So I did acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT, and there's also CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. And it was awesome. I did it for a year. I went 2 hours a week. So, but I loved it. It was extremely helpful for me. And I think when I saw my naturopathic doctor, 90% of my symptoms really did, become alleviated or get better. But there were days where things just kind of popped up OCD-wise, and I would have like a little OCD minute or something. And I was able to use my tools from therapy to help deal with that and help ground myself and work through it and write it out. So coming from that multifaceted approach it was tremendous in my experience. I know it can be really hard to find a therapist or sometimes afford them or get in because there's so many reasons, but I do have a video on how to find a good therapist if you need that. So that's my list, and I know this is kind of the worst thing ever. I mean, OCD really is horrible, but it can get so much better. I went from taking multiple showers a day and just crying in there and hating it, and now I love it. Like, I mean, I don't take a shower. I just mean that, like, now when I take a shower, I really enjoy it, and it's kind of amazing to see how different that is. So, I was the girl that doctor said, there's nothing that can help. You're too severe. Just try to manage. And now I'm doing great. It's still something I work on a little bit, but I'm doing really well, and I really want to help. So, like I said, email me or message me if you want to keep informed on my schedule, and I'll keep you posted. But it's a journey. We all have to do what's best for us, and yeah, but stay strong.